First, I'm just going to give you guys a brief overview of the George Fox Honors Program, just in case you haven't heard as many details about the program before this point. So, the George Fox Honors Program is an alternative way to fulfill your general education requirements while you're at George Fox University. And it's built off of the idea that there is a great conversation that's been going on since the beginning of human history, and that conversation contains important ideas and information that is still impacting the way that we live and interact in society today. And because it still has such a massive influence on us, it's important for students to interact directly with that conversation. Honors was born out of the idea that if you are making the decision to attend university, that's obviously a really massive investment. You're putting a lot of your time and energy and resources into getting that college degree. And so the number one thing that you should be getting out of that is career preparedness, right? Like it's really important that when you graduate from college, you have a job that you're going to go into and you're able to make money. That's the number one thing that you should be looking at when you're evaluating colleges. George Fox has a really great success rate when it comes to career preparedness. Around 97% of our graduates are either in grad school or employed 1 year after their graduation. So that's really important. But also, George Fox University is a Christian institute. And as a Christian institute, we think that if you are investing all this time and energy and resources into your education, then that education should also be focused on some level of intellectual and spiritual formation. And the George Fox Honors Program was born out of a commitment to that. So we believe there's been this great conversation that's been going on, and that it's important for students to participate in that conversation and to contextualize themselves within it. So we've structured a program that is designed to introduce students to this more classical approach to the liberal arts. So we begin with the ancients in year 1, and we progress all the way up to the moderns and postmoderns by year 3. And the way that we interact with this information is by reading all different kinds of texts from every single genre. So it's not just like reading poetry, novels, and plays like you would in an English class. We do that. But we also read early economic theory, early scientific theory, and also the beginning history textbooks. We read every single type of genre so that students are learning how to see the ways in which these very disparate disciplines actually connect to one another. The way that it works is that honors replaces all of your general education credits. So this pie chart can give you a visual understanding of how exactly it would look to slot honors into your schedule. If you're a student who has brought in a lot of transfer credits, then where those transfer credits would go would actually be into your elective credit bin, so this 20%, instead of into the general education portion of your education. So you would not be losing those credits by participating in honors. They would just be going into a different, they would fulfill a different requirement for you when you come to college. I often get asked how what areas of study is represented in the honors program. I'd say we have every single major on campus represented in the program. This pie chart shows you a breakdown of the current honors student body population and what they're majoring in. So as you can see, it's very well diversified. If you're a student in STEM, you will not be the only student in STEM who is talking about Aristotle in this classroom setting. But similarly, if you're an English major, you will not be the only English major who is committing to read all of these books on top of your regular English coursework. This is a selection of some of the texts that we read in the program. All of these texts are chosen due to their impact on society and also due to the specific perspective that we're bringing to this canon of great books. So because we are a Christian program located in a Western country, our canon is much more both Christian-based, so we read a lot of theology here. We also read the Bible every single semester, and we're grounding everything through a Christian perspective. So that means that we are more focused on the development of Western civilization, but we also read Eastern texts. And we think it's important that students also read the religious texts of other religions outside of Christianity to get a sense of how those religions are interacting with the development of philosophy and scientific theory, and also to give students a deeper grounding in why they believe what they believe. So we believe that that kind of dialogue can be very impactful and also important to help students articulate like why they are Christian as opposed to Muslim or Buddhist, because they've actually had the opportunity to interact with those ideas and they're able to come through it with a more strong sense of why they're committed to their own personal beliefs. So I'm moving on from the overview of the program. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of the admissions process to the honors program. So the honors program requires you to submit an additional application. Most of you are, I believe, who are in this webinar have already done that, so that's wonderful because you've been invited to Fellowship Day. But our admissions process is we ask students to submit an application by November 8th. The application is then reviewed, and then students are issued an invitation to Fellowship Day, which happens on December 6th. At Fellowship Day, there's two important things that happen. There is a seminar interview, which is basically where we get students, about 10 to 15 students in a room together with two of our core faculty members. And we have those students have a discussion on a text that's issued to them during that day. So this is a really great opportunity for you as a student to experience the type of learning that you would be doing in the honors program. So it can help you make a concrete decision on whether or not this seems like something you would enjoy. So it can be really helpful to give you that clarity if you're kind of on the fence about whether or not you want to do honors. The second component of Fellowship Day is that you interview with one of our core faculty members. And I will get into more details on that interview and also the seminar event coming up. So first of all, this webinar is about Fellowship Day, and a great place to start is Fellowship Day. What exactly is it? And it has a weird name. Maybe you're thinking about Lord of the Rings if you're hearing Fellowship. But Fellowship Day is a wonderful opportunity to interview in person for the George Fox Honors Program. Every student who applies to the George Fox Honors Program must be interviewed by one of our core faculty members before they can be admitted into the program. The wonderful thing about Fellowship Day is that it's designed to provide students with the ability to get to know the honors program on a more experiential level. So this is a really great opportunity for you to meet other prospective honors students and think through, like, are these the kinds of people that I could see myself taking classes with? Maybe you're already set on coming to George Fox and coming to honors, in which case this could be a really great opportunity to meet your future roommate. That has happened before at Fellowship Day. But beyond that, it's also a great opportunity to meet current honors students, so you can get a stronger sense of the student experience in honors. You can ask them your questions about like what the work-life balance is like, and any other inquiries about what it's like from a student perspective. And you also are able to meet more of our honors faculty. So that'll give you a stronger sense of, are these the kind of professors that I could see myself learning under? At Fellowship Day, students participate in several important events. Like I mentioned, they interview with a member of the honors core faculty, which is required for admissions to the program. They also participate in an honors mini seminar. Beyond that, the honors luncheon actually involves special guest speakers. So the honors lunch will take place on Fellowship Day. It will be held in the cafeteria, but in the banquet rooms of the cafeteria. So it's a more private lunch. And at that lunch, the founder of the honors program will be giving a speech talking about why he founded the program and what his vision was behind it. The current director of the program will be giving a speech, as well as one of our alumni. And the president of George Fox University will be in attendance. So that's a great opportunity to meet more of the faculty and also to interact with more people who kind of have the mission and vision behind what the program is doing. And then beyond that, there will also be many other current honor students who will be present. During Fellowship Day, students are able to also attend Friday at Fox events for their chosen major. So every student's schedule is specifically customized to them to allow students to attend the departmental showcase or open house for the major that you registered on the Fellowship Day attendance form. So if you haven't been to campus yet, this is also a great opportunity to get in that campus tour and maybe go talk to the heads of your department. So Fellowship Day awards range between $1,000 and $5,000 in annual scholarships. That's the other important piece of Fellowship Day, is that it is the honor scholarship competition, and students who attend are up for between $1,000 and $5,000 in annual scholarships. That amount of money would be added on top of whatever you get for your GPA and whatever you receive from your major department. And you would receive that annually. 90% of admitted students who attended Fellowship Day will receive some scholarship money from the honors program. Now, we're going to get into more details on the specific pieces of the Fellowship Day process. And the first one is the interview. And I'm going to provide you with some insights and tips into what honors professors are looking for in their interview for students. So honors looks for students who are engaged. That's a big piece of what we're looking for here. We believe that learning is something that you should be engaging with both with your mind, but also with your heart. It should be something that you're enthusiastic about. We're looking for students who are charitable. And what that means is not in the sense of charity where you're giving money to the Salvation Army, but in the sense of charity where you are being respectful and loving to the other people who are in the room with you. Students who are thoughtful and willing to learn. That's very important for an honors student because we're going to be discussing lots of big ideas in this course, like what is the purpose of life? How do we relate well to God? How do we love our neighbors well? And it's important to bring a sense of willing to learn and openness into those discussions in order for it to be a productive conversation. We're also looking for students who are just excited about the big ideas. Our interview process is specifically designed to allow students to show off their ability to engage charitably and thoughtfully. We choose to interview students in small groups. So students are interviewed in groups of 3. So it'll be 3 students with 1 faculty member, and the interview lasts approximately 30 minutes. The reason why we interview students in small groups is because the structure of the honors seminar is entirely discussion-based learning. So it's really important to see how students interact with each other, as well as how students interact with the professor, because this type of learning model is not like going to a lecture and just sitting there. You have to actively be engaged. So it's important to see how students interact with one another, as well as how they answer and think through the questions that are asked them. Our primary goal through the interview process is to gauge what type of thinker that you are, because we want you to be a good fit for this program. Like, we are interviewing students to find out if we think they would work well in this program and if they would enjoy this program. But we also want to know if this program would be a good fit for you. We want students who are in honors tend to be very enthusiastic about being in honors. It's something that they look forward to and enjoy. And we want our students to enjoy this learning experience. So, for example, if you're someone who just vehemently does not like to read, this might not be a good fit for you because that is what the majority of the homework is based around, and that is something that I would not bring up in the interview. However, if you're someone who says, I'm not the best reader, it's not something that I'm really excited about, but I really love talking about big ideas, that could be a great thing to bring up in the interview, because you could talk through whatever hesitancies you might have about the reading that could be assigned, but you could also, it's an opportunity for you to display your enthusiasm for having these great conversations. So the second component of Fellowship Day is the mini seminar. And the structure of the mini seminar is that students are broken into groups of around 15, and they attend a seminar for an hour and 15 minutes that's moderated by one of our current honors faculty. The discussion focus of the seminar will be on a short text that is passed out in the seminar itself. So students will come in not knowing what the text is. The text will be passed out. It'll be about 1 page. You will read it out loud together, and then you will simply discuss. The professors will throw out some kind of question like they would for a regular honors seminar, and just see what kind of discussion comes out of that. Don't be nervous about this piece of the interview process. Usually the feedback we get from Fellowship Day is that this was the piece of the day that the students enjoyed the most, because it is really fun to have a good conversation with people who share similar interests to you. What we're looking for from a faculty perspective is students who are curious and who have a willingness to listen and a willingness to discuss. So one of the things we're interested in is making sure that you're a student who's aware of when maybe if you've been talking a lot, it's good to open up space for other people to talk, or alternatively, if you're someone who maybe hasn't talked the entire time, it might be good to try and get in there, even if you're a little bit more shy. We do acknowledge that some people are shyer, which is why this is not the only component of the interview process. The written component is also very important as well as the interview. But it is a great opportunity for you as a student to envision what it would be like to take classes at the George Fox Honors Program. So hopefully this will give you a more concrete sense of whether or not this is something you want to be involved with. So beyond that, the other component of Fellowship Day is that there are regular Friday at Fox events. Every student who attends will be given a customized schedule designed to allow them to participate in the regular Friday at Fox schedule for their chosen major. If you are a student who has already visited campus and already participated in Friday at Fox events, this could be a great opportunity for you to maybe stop by the financial aid office and have some kind of discussion if that's something you need to do, or maybe connect with your academic advisor. There will be space in the schedule to allow you to do that. Alternatively, if you have been to campus multiple times, we'll also have current honors students in the honors house on campus all day who are available to take students out to coffee. So you could have a coffee connection with one of the current honor students and get more of that student perspective. If you have not attended a Friday at Fox before, then Fellowship Day is a perfect opportunity for you to go stop by and visit your department, potentially tour campus. There will be some classes that will be available to sit in on if you have not yet done that. And this is also a great opportunity for you to visit the dining hall. Although we will not be eating in the regular cafeteria, it will be in the special banquet rooms that are right next to the cafeteria. So it won't be the true George Fox dining experience, but it will give you a sense of the space and what it would look like to live a day here. So after Fellowship Day happens, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, what is the decision timeline? So I'm gonna give you some insight into that. So the first thing that students do is they attend Fellowship Day. And 1 week after Fellowship Day, faculty make admission and scholarship decisions. Not 1 day, I'm sorry. 1 week later, faculty make admission and scholarship decisions. The reason why faculty make admission and scholarship decisions 1 week after the event is because if you've been invited to Fellowship Day and you cannot attend in person, then we ask you to schedule a Zoom meeting with one of our core faculty members. And pushing out the admission and scholarship decisions to 1 week after Fellowship Day allows us to run some of those online interviews in the week following the event so that our faculty isn't overworked, essentially. So faculty will sit down and make admission and scholarship decisions 1 week later. That'll be on Friday, December 13th this year. And then admission packets are sent out sometime over the Christmas break. Ideally, students will receive that in early January. You will for sure know by mid-January at the very latest whether or not you've been admitted to the program and also how much money you are receiving from being in honors. After that happens, the next step for you as a student is, let's say you get admitted to the honors program, you're very excited. And the next step that we ask from you is that you submit a letter of intent. This is not a physical letter, it's a box that you log on online and check off. And that just tells us that you are planning on coming to George Fox and attending the honors program. If this is something that you're not entirely sure about yet, you'd like to collect more information on, you have until May to make a final admission decision, unless sometimes we do develop quite an extensive wait list. And if that is happening, then we might ask students to submit their letter of intent sooner, just so we can free up any spots on the wait list that, maybe you've decided you're not coming to George Fox, or if you are coming to George Fox, you want to be in honors, then we want to make sure that that spot in the program could go to someone else, because we only admit 100 students every year. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation. I'm going to open it up to questions from you all now. Yes, Abigail. I'm not sure if you have speech power. You don't have speech power, maybe put it in the webinar chat. Are virtual accommodations able to be made for the interviews, or will I need to come in person? That's a great question. So if you cannot attend in person, for like example, if you're out of state, then you can interview online over Zoom. That interview does need to be completed by December 13th in order to be considered for scholarship possibilities. How many people typically attend the honors program each year? That's another great question. Every single year, we bring in 100 incoming students. That group of 100 is divided into groups of 20. So the class sizes on average tend to be 20 students with 2 faculty members. We do not decide which class section you are in. You as the student pick whichever class section works best for you and your schedule and your major, which means that over the course of your time in the program, you're probably going to have class with every single one of that 100-person cohort that came in with you. Are parents supposed to / can they attend Fellowship Day? Parents are absolutely invited to Fellowship Day. We really enjoy having parents at Fellowship Day. It's a great opportunity for you to also get to know the program more. We really value our parent connections in the honors program. We actually run a special parent seminar over family weekend every year. So we really value those connections. And in some ways, the lunch is designed for parents because it will help you get a better sense of what this program is and what its visions and missions are. And also, it'll give you an opportunity to meet and connect with more of the faculty members. Also, if you haven't been on campus before, this is a great opportunity to walk around George Fox and get a sense of whether or not you can envision your student attending here. Abigail wants to know, she's a Running Start student in Washington State. She'll be graduating this year with my Associate of Arts. Will none of my transfer credits count? Will this set me back? That's a great question, Abigail. Very great question. And to be honest, the answer to that is a little bit case by case, depending on 2 things. First of all, what you're majoring in, and then second of all, how many of those transfer credits Fox accepts. So the standard general education packet at George Fox consists of 12 classes. That's called the Cornerstone Core. The honors program consists of 6 classes, and it's designed in such a way that you can graduate in 3 years while doing honors. So if you are planning on graduating early in that 3-year timeline, then honors will not set you back. If you're planning on being at Fox for 2 years, then the honors program is not going to work out for you, just because you will not be at Fox long enough to complete the program. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are in the honors program and you have a bunch of transfer credits, but this is something that sounds really interesting to you, like maybe you're really attracted to this style of learning, maybe you are really excited about the idea of reading all these great books, and so you choose to do honors, then the transfer credits would not be going towards your general education requirements. Instead, those transfer credits would be going towards your electives. So you would not be losing any credits. They would just be fulfilling a different part of the requirements for you to graduate. And it would definitely open up the opportunity for you to take fewer classes over the course of your time at George Fox. But for a more specific picture of what that looks like, I would really recommend talking to your specific academic counselor. They'll have a better idea of like your specific case. Linda wanted to know, do we need to prepare questions for the interview with the professors? No, you do not need to prepare questions, but if you have questions that haven't been answered yet, this is a really great opportunity to ask those questions. Is it too late to submit the application? I was just made aware about the honors program. I've still been working on the essays. That is a great question. It is not too late to submit the application. We will be accepting applications in the spring. However, you have missed our early application deadline, so that means that you will not be eligible for attending Fellowship Day, which is the event that's happening on December 6th. It's our honors scholarship competition date. Basically, what that means practically is you can still be admitted into the program if you apply after this point. You can still be considered for scholarships, but the amount of scholarships that we distribute after Fellowship Day comes from whatever is left over. Basically, the university gives us a certain amount of money that we can distribute in scholarships, and we distribute that on a first come, first served basis. So after the Fellowship Day admission and scholarship decisions, whatever money we distribute, it comes from whatever is left over from that first round of scholarship and admission decisions. Andrea wants to know, will I still be able to receive the same amount of scholarship money by attending virtually? Yes, as long as you interview before December 13th. Count towards base classes because I'm super interested in the honors program. Yes, Abigail, if you have more specific questions about how this looks exactly with your transfer credits, I would definitely talk to your academic counselor. They'll be able to give you a more specific picture of what this would look like for you, especially with your particular major, which I'm not sure what that is, but what you're majoring in also kind of impacts the transfer credits and how they work. Would being in the honors program and the nursing program be obtainable? That's a great question. Honors works with every single major on campus except for nursing. And the reason why is because of clinicals during your junior and senior year. You're just not on campus. You're working in a hospital. Because of that, you cannot finish out the program, but that being said, we do have nurses who join the program for the first 2 years, and then after that 2-year period, they transition out when they go into the clinicals. That's the other thing about honors is that if you're admitted into the program and you join the program and you're doing the program for your freshman year, and say you get to the end of that freshman year, and maybe you're doing something like engineering and a sport and honors, and it's just too much, you can transition out of the program at any time. You would have to go through an exit interview process with our program director, and then you'd have to go connect with your your academic coach, who'd be able to tell you which of the general education classes you would have to take to complete your degree, but it would not set back your graduation timeline. The honors scholarships, if you win any, are you only able to have those scholarships if you choose to pursue the honors program? Yes, the scholarships are distributed for being a part of the honors program. You will be able to attend the honors program and travel abroad. That does not cause any issues. Although, Abigail, potentially for you, it might cause issues because honors is designed so you can complete it in 3 years, and that 3 years assumes that you're taking one honors course every single semester. If you're abroad, you can't take the honors course. If you're a traditional 4-year student, then basically you can customize your schedule with honors after the sophomore year. So we have tons of students who take an honors class in the fall of their junior year, study abroad in the spring, and then come back and finish honors out in the fall of their senior year. But if you're going to be here for a shorter amount of time at George Fox, you don't have quite that same schedule flexibility. Although you could still do juniors abroad, which is the 3-week trip that happens at the end of junior year. Also, are we only able to travel abroad for 1 semester plus juniors abroad, or can we travel abroad for multiple semesters? The traveling abroad for multiple semesters entirely depends on your major and how many, basically when you travel abroad, the way that George Fox counts those major credits is essentially transfer credits. So it would depend on how many transfer credits you get. I will say if you're going into something like engineering or the medical field, then those transfer credits are much more specific for obvious reasons that they have to be up to the American standard of care for both engineering and also for medical sciences. So some of those transfer credits are treated more harshly than something in the humanities. How is scholarship money determined for each person? Is it necessity or performance-based? Scholarship money for this program is determined on performance. So the faculty evaluates your GPA, your written application, and then also your interview to make scholarship and admission decisions. That's because this program is academic in nature. It is a more rigorous academic opportunity. So the scholarships are determined based on academic performance. That does not mean that if you have a low GPA, that's going to prevent you from receiving scholarship money or anything like that. But this program, the scholarships are awarded on performance. We do offer book scholarships. So a scholarship that would cover the cost of your textbooks on a necessity based. Any other questions I can answer while I'm here? I'm going to take that as a no, and we have reached 5:02, and I want to be respectful of all of y'all's time. So thank you so much for coming, and hopefully I'll see you guys at Fellowship Day.